Well, after doing a little bit of research and taking in some different PD events, I had learned a lot about student choice and audience, and those are two of the things that I've really tried to work into my classroom. So giving the students opportunity to pick what it is that they want to do, and I'm still guiding them in the direction that I want them to go, but they have different options within that, and also giving the opportunity to present and share their work with others. One of the things that I really enjoy doing is inviting the parents in. So for my creative writing class, we had a coffee house night, and the parents come in and celebrate the student work with them, and it's just such an amazing experience for the kids. They're always very nervous, but it's also really exciting, and they're so proud of themselves afterwards, and it makes what they do so much more meaningful. So that's one of the things that I've tried doing, and just also trying to find new ways to incorporate technology in meaningful ways. It can often seem really scary or overwhelming to find those ways where it's actually going to be meaningful, where it's not just let's have fun on the computer, and pushing the kids to try new things. They always love to use PowerPoint when you say presentation, but asking them to find a different mode of presentation, just trying to find ways to keep them interested and engaged is what I've been focusing on the most. I was fortunate enough to wrangle up a laptop cart, which has been housed in my room the last little while, which has made it a lot easier to make the changes I want. So one of the biggest changes is creating all of my courses on OneNote, which is the new program through our email, and it has been just a really cool experience for me. I love planning on it to begin with. It keeps me organized, it keeps everything in one place. It's really easy to access. I've got it on my phone, I've got it on my laptop at home, so it just makes it super easy to plan. But for the students, it's been wonderful. So they can easily access things at home wherever they are. I can put the handouts on there if I want, but I very much designed it so that it is not a replacement for the class, which I think a lot of teachers fear, is that if they create something like this online, suddenly the kids don't have to come to class anymore. And so I've tried to find the balance between providing them the information that they need to be successful, but still emphasizing the importance of being in the classroom and sharing in the discussions and the group activities and the work even. And I eventually decided to put everything in that. So I have a section for ELAB 10, and every single lesson is listed there. And then what I can do is click on that lesson and share it to the individual notebooks. So I can say, well, this lesson's ready to go for my grade 10 English class, so I can share it with them. We can use it in class as our guiding tool like we did today, or we can say, you know what, go home and work through this activity so that you're ready to go for tomorrow's class. And it's been awesome. I really haven't had any problems with it. The kids find it fairly user-friendly, and what's really neat is they all have their own notebook in there, and so they can share stuff with me personally where no one else can see it but myself and them. And you know, they can hand in homework that way. They can have me edit something from wherever I'm at. They can, you know, email me and say, hey, can you check this out for me? Let me know what you think, before they're actually handing it in. And then there's also the collaboration page where we can all kind of come together and work through things. That's been the biggest change for me. And honestly, there was, like I said, there was a lot of trial and error, but just trying to figure out the best way to make it work. And I feel like I've kind of figured that out now. I'm a lot more comfortable with it, and the kids, they really do like it. There was two key issues that I was having in my classroom that I was hunting for solutions to. One of them was the kids forget about homework all the time. That's the number one excuse. Well, I forgot. And so I was trying to figure out a way to help support them, but also there's so much emphasis on parent communication. I wanted to find a way that the parents could be involved in that as well. So I tried different things, emailing parents, having like the email groups, using Remind 101, just different things. And the feedback that I got at the end of last year was that there's just too many things to keep track of. You know, we have to have a Remind 101 app, and we have to have this app and that. And so I asked the kids, well, you have Facebook. If I made a private group, would you be okay with that? And they were all very supportive of that. So this year, That's what I did. I made a Facebook group for every class that I have. I invited the parents to it and the students, and that is our home of communication. So I can send out reminders, the parents can communicate with me directly through that. They're all on it anyway, so it makes it very easy. And what I found really surprising from that was that the kids I normally wouldn't hear from, maybe not even in class, the kids who wouldn't even put their hand up and ask for help, would private message me and say, how do I do this? Or I don't understand what we were supposed to be doing. Can you give me some more direction? And that just blew me away. So it's been really cool. And then the kids tag one another. I have parents tagging their kids in the group, like, remember to do this. So it's just been really neat having that communication tool. And honestly, I would recommend that to anyone. It's just really opened up the conversation in our classroom. It's also a really great tool for generating class discussion. I'll post a topic and tell the kids that, you know, I want to see their comments on there, and they love it because they're on it anyway. They have no problem going on, and we can vote on different options that way. So like the one you like the best, and you know, we tally up the likes and we know which one was voted in or whatever. And then the OneNote, just trying to make my class more accessible so that when they are at home, if they forgot their book, there's something there that will help them through that. So, you know, Macbeth is online. I've just plugged that link in to the OneNote so that they can click on it and find what they need to do the work they need to do. So. I feel like I personally have had a good foundation coming into this in terms of understanding technology and how to use it. So that has been a huge benefit to me. But having the time to develop the different types of technology that I've been using and incorporating, time to experiment and play with it and develop things has just been a really valuable part of me being able to do what I've done. And my school has been very supportive of that, providing me with the time that I've needed. My school and my division through professional development opportunities and prep time and things like that. So that I've really appreciated. And I think that's really what other teachers need in order to do some of these things as well, is just having the time and the people in place to support them exploring OneNote or exploring, you know, all of the different types of apps and programs that we're trying to use now. So that's probably the biggest thing for me. Having a really supportive staff, getting to go and talk to other members on my staff and see what they're doing and get ideas from them, or just asking them for help, has been really invaluable. And I would have to say, you know, I've really tried to take up PD opportunities, such as Taking It Global that was offered last year, that just really help enhance what I'm doing. Some of them are a lot of work. Taking It Global, and this year being the 21st Century Educator, it is a lot of work, but I feel like as a teacher, our job means that we never stop learning. And personally, that's just a part of my life. So in order to stay current, in order to understand how to best empower my students and help them be successful, I need to keep learning and keep trying new things. So that to me has been the biggest areas of support that I've needed and used to get where I am. So. I have been really, really fortunate to have the administrators that I've had. Last year I had Kim Hobbs. This year I have Blaine Hilbig and Megan Friedrich in the office as well. And they have just been so supportive of all of these things that I've been trying to do. Whether it's taking the PD opportunities, giving me the extra time to develop some of this stuff, encouraging me along the way, that has just been really huge. And one of the most powerful things I think that has happened for me personally was this year when we came back to school and we had our initial PD days. Our admin sat down and talked to us about wanting to establish a blended learning unit in each class. And they were creative enough to come up with a way to help us do that. And they said that our 21st Century Artifact, our PLT, and our SMART goal could all focus on that blended learning piece, which to me was so huge because it meant I could focus all of my energy onto that one thing. And for me, that meant it affected every single class, not just one unit. Every single class was affected by that. And so not having to do a whole bunch of different little things and just really focus in on one was huge. And so that is I just think that's so empowering when you have admin that support you developing your own teaching in that way. So that was huge. And again, I have to say time. We all ask for it. And, you know, I think it's so true that doing this kind of work takes time. And it's only because I've been given the time I have that I've been able to come up with the things that I've been able to come up with. We all have families at home and all of, you know, the extracurricular and other distractions and commitments and responsibilities. And so it's really freeing to be told you have this hour, you have this afternoon at PD, you have this time to just work on the area that you most want to. And that's been so helpful. I would say when I first heard blended learning being thrown around, I freaked out. I will be completely honest, I freaked out. We had just been handed so much change so fast. It was like another thing, and now I have to revamp my classroom again. What are we talking about here? And as I got into it, as I started looking into it and hearing it more and going to PD, I realized a lot of what it was talking about I was already doing in different ways, and this was just a more concentrated effort to focus in on some of those things. I kept thinking that it had to involve technology. Every single day it had to be technology, which just wasn't even realistic in our schools. We don't have enough technology or bandwidth or, you know, to use it in that way. But to me, that wasn't, you know, that wasn't holding me back. We were already using technology. I just had to incorporate it in different ways. And so my biggest thing has just been not letting that hold me back and focusing in on the areas or the strengths that I have and using them to move into the blended learning area of teaching, I guess. And not every day looks like that. You know, not every day is like that. We still sit in class and we read together, and I think that's invaluable for our students. They need to have that time, and to eliminate all of it is not going to help them, but having a balance is good, and they love it. They're engaged. You know, when I hear kids coming and begging to read the book today in class, and then getting really excited about the poster they're making, or, you know, coming to me at lunch and saying, can we work on this essay? You know, that's exciting. That's what we're here for.